Hi, good morning. This is Dr. Bob Flower and your Master Pattern Report for January 3rd, 2012. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you had some good holidays. And I wish you the very best of a new year. Okay, so let's look at some stocks. Our silver hit a low last week. It did dip below that $26 level. We had said that we're going to see $25. We don't think that's over. I think it's bounced back up to close to $30 or at near $30. It's had a nice run. I think it was Friday and then again today, bouncing back up. But we still think that that 25-ish level for silver over the next 2 weeks or so is very possible, uh, as is gold. Okay, we called for a move on the second. The second was actually yesterday, and today is the carryover. So, and we're seeing a big rally in the market today, and we think that we've got a move on Friday the 6th, which we think there's about an 80% chance that that's going to be an up move. Uh, Next Monday, which is the 9th, is a big day that we're anticipating. And we think that that's going to be about an 80% chance of a down move there. But we do think that that it is going to be a significant move. And the other date that we had told you about that we're watching with great interest is on the 5th. So we're looking at the 9th of this month and the 5th of next month as major major hits, major periods. We'll let you know more about the 5th as we get closer to that. Um, the way we see the market, we see some sort of a rally here. First part of the year, first month anyway, in January, going into maybe the somewhere between the 15th and the 20th. We think we'll see a turnaround here, and we will then see the market move down. The bigger move down in the market will occur the first week in March. It appears. Now, what may well happen, I'm going to give you some predictions. What may well happen this year, since it is a presidential year, and you're going to see a lot of pressure to make things look good, or to make them better, at least for this year. There's not much they can do. I mean, they can't really drop these rates down much lower, and although they can pump more money into the economy, but that may not be perceived as something positive. Um, uh, so there are moves, but we think that the gun is empty. Uh, Maybe there's one more round in the chamber, but that's about it. And that when things make a negative downturn here, that it's going to be very, very difficult for things to bounce back. But there will be a hard attempt to do that. So you may see the market respond positively while the economy responds negatively. Okay? So let's put that a different way. Uh, Wall Street may respond positively during this coming year to some degree, but Main Street definitely will not. Okay, so some predictions for the year, as I told you. Um, Silver to $57 this year. Gold over 2,000, 2,100 around there. Oil in the 60s. We think you will see oil somewhere in the $60 range, $60 to $70 range. There will be spikes in oil. Make no mistake about it. And we think that may come around that uh, first week in March. And spikes. I think we may see oil as high as $122 a barrel. So wild swings going on during the year, but we definitely think that summertime we will see oil hit in that $60 range. Um, oh, I told you before, we're going to see a new party this year. The end of the year, we're going to see it by December. and may well make a huge move after the election, not necessarily before, or at least that's when a push may come for it. And it'll be a throwback to constitutionality, to the fundamentals of the country. So watch for that, and don't be too quick to jump in there. There may be one or two different movements. Pick your choices. We'll talk more about that. President, the election. We think that Romney's going to be the candidate, and Chris Christie will be the vice president, and we think that they'll end up winning. The Senate will go Republican, 52 seats. The House will lose some of the gain that it made in 2010, but it will still stay in Republican power. So it's entirely possible that we may see an entire swing towards one party control. But make no mistake about it, what's going on with this country today, it's not Republican and Democrat. The independents are coming on very, very strong here, and having more to say. That's why I say that this third party may be taking the lead here, rather than the independents trying to sway Democrats or Republicans. They may just get so damn fed up that they're going to create this new entity, or and somehow change the other two. I don't know how that could happen right now, but we're looking at it. Okay. We think that the United States, the currencies, the United States and Europe, will take big hits. We think the stock market will hit 9,000 this year. I think we're going to see that the earlier part of the year, or first half of the year, rather than the second half. We're going to see some bounces here. This is going to be wild, just like it has been, only even more so. Weakening the understructure of the United States. Europe either makes it or breaks it within the next 6 months. If they manage to pull something off here, things will be bad, but not as bad as what we've been looking at, only to be postponed into the next year or so. However, we don't think so. The patterns are showing a very, very difficult year financially all around. Okay? Obamacare goes down. And we'll see a states' rights orientation for your services, your Medicare and whatnot go into effect here. We think that may well be a joint type of thing, something to be put in place fairly quickly, even though this is a presidential election year. And we also think that it will be the beginning of a huge states' rights preference by the voters and the people. Okay, that's a lot, and I know there's some things in there that may sound some confusing. Send me your comments. Go to the website, by the way. You're better off we communicate more on the website than we do anyplace else. So go to the website. We've got charts and whatnot, and show you some new things that we're coming up with. By the way, we are in the process of patenting our program, which some of the things that we have not told you about the program is we have developed some new areas of prediction with the master pattern. We will talk about that when we have our patent in place, and hopefully that'll be fairly quick, since the patent office has seen fit to drop a lot of regulations and restrictions and move things through a lot faster. We just hope that this can qualify so that we can get it out there more for people to understand and perhaps engage themselves in in some way with this wonderful technology. On a on a spiritual level, I think that you're going to see some dramatic influences with people. I think you're going to see people start to change and become more involved with each other and with a deeper level of themselves. This may well happen. Of course, this happens a lot when you have disasters and things of that sort. By the way, one thing I want to bring up to you that I didn't have on my prediction list, but I think, and I've talked about this before, is towards the end of the year, sun cycles will be probably at their most powerful. I think in the past 400 years, something of that sort. So these electromagnetic pulsing, which incidentally, several countries such as Russia and Iran are trying to develop into a weapon. But these electromagnetic pulses may very well be a natural disaster reality that we may be experiencing towards the end of the year, right into 2013. But I think we're going to see some of it this year, and it's going to play a lot of havoc with communications, a lot of confusion, and that's how I see this year. I see a lot of caustic type of atmosphere, a lot of confusion, a lot of doubts, loss of confidence in a lot of areas, but emanating out of that, I do, and maybe this is me thinking somewhat idealistically here, and I'm sure you're going to let me know about this, but is this spiritual rebirth, which is definitely necessary in the sense of looking deeper inside ourselves as individuals as to what we are, who we are, what we stand for, what our values and our virtues are, and what we believe in. And I think that's exceedingly important for our confidence and for our well-being, not only as individuals but as a nation. So I think that's on its way. I think that will start to develop more so than ever towards like late summer, early fall, when things look kind of dark. And when they do look dark, look to the spiritual nature of your being for clarity and insight. What is it that you really stand for? What is it that's good? And I'm not talking about helping your neighbor. I'm talking about being a better person yourself, ourselves. That's the most important thing. Because if everybody does their job and tries to be a better person themselves, the world automatically becomes your neighbor automatically becomes better by you being better. And by being better, I don't mean being richer necessarily. That's part of it, but there's also a mental, emotional, and intuitive side of our nature, and those things need to be nourished as much as our levels of financial well-being. Okay, so this is going to be a very very exciting and trying year. We will. I believe we will hit around the 9,000. I think we're going to see 122 oil. Then we're going to see $60 oil. Up for a while and then down. Wall Street will rebound. Main Street will not. It will be harder and harder for us to do things that we've taken for granted for all these years. So, but with all of this, there is chances to do well, to make some, to make ourselves better and stronger. And I wish that for all of you this year. And we're going to see you on the 9th next week, Monday. Have a good one.